My name is Haley Wright, and welcome to another edition of Emerging Issuer. Joining us in the studio today is John Arnold, the CFO of Geo Finance Corp, a company that trades on the over-the-counter pink sheet in the U.S. under the symbol GEFI. But before we start the interview, here's a little information on the company. Geo Finance Corporation is in the business to acquire and finance geo-exchange heating cooling fields throughout North America, with a highly experienced team of professionals focused on creating more energy-efficient green buildings. With an expanding market of shopping centers, hotels, municipal buildings, and multiple dwelling units promoting alternative energy sources. Welcome to Emerging Issuer, John.
Thank you, Haley. A pleasure to be here.
Great. Now, I was looking over the business plan, and what struck me was that the pro forma financials on the company were really aggressive. Now, I know there's a huge market out there to be green and eco-friendly, and obviously a lot of competition out there. What makes Geo Finance a relatively new issuer and a compelling company?
Well, we are focused on financing the geothermal fields that are being called for by the architects, engineers, contractors, building owners, with the new building construction going on. We are not intending to be the installer. We are rather working with existing sales forces that are out there, thus eliminating a huge cost of entry into the business.
Now, John, how do you see the company meeting its objectives to meet the numbers you've indicated in the business plan, which, quite frankly, are really interesting?
We're providing the capital financing, which eliminates the prohibitive costs to the owners of the installation of a geothermal field and reduces the costs of heat, air conditioning, and hot water by a significant amount.
Now, shifting to the stock for a moment, John, the natural progression for all issuers that trade via a quotation service is to graduate to an exchange where there are minimum listing requirements. What steps is the company taking to facilitate that?
The company is filing all of the documentation as if it were on a senior exchange, even though it is not required to under the present rules.
Now, the company is being publicly quoted right now, and naturally, it's interested for retail exposure. Obviously, retail investors are interested in shareholder value when they are thinking of participating in the marketplace. How do you define the company's overall strategy to nurture that process?
Haley, the incremental value will be achieved by the company through the installation of geothermal fields and the revenues generated therefrom. For example, a typical field will operate in excess of 25 years, giving the company a very long cash flow period.
Now, last question, John, and this is primarily for our viewers out there. Why should the investment community stand up and take notice of Geo Financial?
The Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce predicted yesterday that we will be paying over $200 a barrel for oil. The price of energy is going to continue rising. There's no sign of it stopping. This company will be providing an alternative to paying those very, very high prices for gas, for heating fuel, for any other form of energy that one has to buy through the hydrocarbon system.
Well, that's very exciting, John. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that's it for me, Haley Wright. For another edition of Emerging Issuer, we'll see you soon.